Hello everyone, so today we'll be going over double leg entrances and how to shoot in to get the takedown in MMA specifically. So we'll be using our hands and our strikes to set up the takedowns. As well as this, we'll be going over angle changes and switching our stances whilst we shoot. This can be especially useful if you're an orthodox fighter fighting a southpaw, or southpaw fighting an orthodox fighter, where your lead foot is opposites, meaning that it's hard to shoot a double leg from the position you're in currently. I apologise early on about the quality of the video. Unfortunately, it was shot in the dark, but hopefully it's visible enough to be able to see what exactly is going on. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the techniques and the variations I'll be going over today. So the first technique is just a simple entrance. You can throw any combination like beforehand, and then you add the lead strike at the end of it. So basically you want to have your lead hand out at the end so it covers your entrance. Super basic way of entering a double leg shot, and this works if you're both in the same stance. So here you can see that it's always the lead hand that is the last punch in the combo before you shoot him. When you shoot in, you want to have your head on the outside and you want your knee to pass the line of their feet, so you want to shoot in nice and deep. The reason why it's difficult to shoot in opposite stances is because your lead foot gets in the way. Secondly, your head is no longer as deep in, and thirdly, it's hard to grab the far leg, and it's easier actually to shoot for a single leg. Therefore, a double leg shot like this only works if you're both in the same stance. So this next one is if you are in opposite stances. So basically you're using the cross to switch stances and then shoot in so that you're in the same stance for the double leg shot. All you're doing is you're firing out that cross, allowing the foot to follow so that you swap stances and then you can shoot in. So any combo beforehand is fine to set up, and then you throw the cross whichever stance this is in, and you switch into the same stance as them and simultaneously shoot in for the takedown. This is especially useful if your opponent is slightly further away as well, because it covers quite a bit of distance, and leaving that crossing hand out in their face rather than putting it back is sometimes useful as a good way of blinding your opponent before you shoot. Recently we've seen Khamzat Chimaev use this a bit, but also I've seen the likes of George St. Pierre and Demetrius Johnson use this technique to cover the distance and get the double leg shot, especially when your opponent is in the opposite stance. This next one is similar, so it's once again in opposite stances, but this time you're stepping and punching at the same time. So if you're in orthodox and your left foot was forwards, as your right foot stepped forwards, your left hand will come out, and vice versa in southpaw. So if you think about the analogy of walking, if when you're walking you don't see many people swing the same arm forwards as the leg going forwards, look a bit weird. So what you do usually when you walk is you counterbalance your foot going forward with the opposite hand coming out. And this is the same case in this punch. So as the right foot steps forwards, left hand comes out. If the left foot steps forwards, right hand comes out. And as you do this, you're pulling your opposite shoulder back to set it up for the hook. So opposite hand comes out as your foot comes forwards, hook, and then shoot in for the takedown after. It's a great way of swapping stances and then setting up your double leg takedown once again. Okay, so the final one which we'll be going over today is once again an opposite stance. So a lot of these are really useful if your opponent is in opposite stance and you want to shoot in for a double leg takedown. So this one we are changing the angle, so we're setting a jab in their face and then we're hooking and stepping to the side at the same time. So we're going towards the hooking side, and as we do this it squares your opponent up, and that means it's easier to shoot. And if your opponent is square, that means they have no base behind them and you're more likely to be able to drive through and get the takedown, and it actually might be easier than a traditional takedown if done correctly. So this one doesn't require swapping stances at all. All it requires is you changing your angle so that it's more appropriate for you to grab both legs or be able to reach both legs for the double leg shot. So those are all the double leg entrances I'll be going over today. Hopefully this is useful, and I hope this helps people who might be in southpaw fighting an orthodox fighter or vice versa. A lot of these techniques are footwork based, so worth practicing the footwork for each of these, especially the last three, and then you'll be able to get this technique quite smoothly. Anyway, that's all from me today. If you have any other techniques you want to go over, or any fight analysis, or any exercise videos, or any other suggestions, let me know in the comments below. And remember to please like and subscribe if you can, and I'll see you next time for another video.